Now, the Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, Nathi Mthethwa, has set up a Ministerial Advisory Team, or MAT, for the creative and cultural sector, who will advise the Minister on how to deal with the plight of creatives during COVID-19. The appointment comes as the nation is under enormous strain due to COVID-19, and it has also hit hard the creative and cultural industries in their various forms. Sharif Baker is member of that Ministerial Advisory Team, and he joins us now. Very good evening to you, and thank you so much for speaking to us, Mr. Baker. Before we get into how this matter is going to be structured, has there been a study done or some preliminary findings into just how bad has the fallout been for those in the creative and cultural industries?
Good evening to Peter, and good evening to the viewers and the listeners. Yes, we have done some extensive homework, preliminary homework, before engaging in the task that's been set out with us to understand the plight of everybody in the creative sector. And now that we've got an understanding of the challenges that lay before us, we can now put together solutions and resolve moving forward to the specific work streams and tasks that are at hand.
Okay, so are you, as I say, able to provide us with figures, or just, give us a sense just how bad? We know it's bad, but is there an indication of how many people who would have been employed or found revenue streams within the sectors are now out of the system, or, just a clearer picture if you can, please?
Sure. So firstly, allow me to say that the minister has put together this advisory team as he has suggested, but we are actually the ministerial creative and cultural task team, because we're looking after tasks that affect the sector rather than an advisor just specifically to the minister or the department. We are here to speak on behalf of the sector, but joining hands with the department to try and resolve. Over the last year has seen a lot of ups and downs with regards to facts and figures, speaking to the exact rand value and body count to our sector. But I can tell you, both directly and indirectly, our industry has been impacted to more than between 700 and 100,000 people, up towards 1 million, and impact from the GDP close to the 50 to 60 billion of the GDP has been affected to our economy. So the numbers are very harsh. We always knew right from the beginning that our sector would be the heart, and now we can actually see the ramifications thereof. Thus, I think the minister has now realized he's got so much on his hands that he needs to hear our voice as a sector and needs assistance in trying to get the work done, primarily to look after our sector and keep our sector alive.
I really do appreciate that picture, because it helps to know what we're working with, especially when we talk about the work that Matt has to do. I believe that's structured as per 5 work streams. Please tell us a little bit more about that. I believe it also involves banking and landlords' portfolios, the school fees, etc. Tell us more about it.
So some of the most fundamental challenges sit in our laps. Let's put aside the challenge of everyone trying to get us back to work and reopen our industry and our sector, whether it be via vaccinations or rapid testing, which we are working very closely with the South African Events Council. But more so than that, we have challenges that are every day, as in school fees, and our parents being harassed by schools by insisting on payments, and our children being harassed. Oh, your father doesn't pay your school fees. That type of challenges and harassment is real. So that is one of the work streams that we're attending to. Another work stream we're attending to is the private and corporate sector, where, especially, for example, within the telcos, where we need assistance for communication. So we need some form of direction with regards to data, whether it be capped or free or whatever the case may be. We need something there so that our sector can communicate, not just from a business point of view, but also from a loved one or a family perspective. The third work stream is to look at the retail and transport sectors where we are in desperate need of fundamentals of everyday food, whether it be hampers or baskets from the retail sector, as well as transportation between provinces or even local, whether it be Patco, Ria Vaya, or that type of scenario. We
Okay.
need that type of assistance, and that's one of our engagements.
Okay.
The fourth engagement, the fifth engagement rather, or fourth engagement that is very close to the minister's heart is the wellness of our sector. Not just from a mental wellness or well-being, but also from a business perspective. So we can understand moving forward as we come out of this. And we have to be positive here, Tsepi, so that we are going to come out of this. It may take some time, but we're going to need help. And
Okay.
that's one sector that's very close to the minister's heart, is the well-being of our sector and the constituents that fall under the creative sector.
So quickly and finally, how do you anticipate setting up the work streams? I believe that will be the overarching responsibility of your advisory team work.
So how are we going to address this? By virtue of us being appointed as a task team, letters of appointment have been issued, and we've been given line officials that work specifically in the department that will be able to link us for. So, for example, with the schooling sector, directly with the Department of Basic Education, the sector that I'm specifically heading up with a group of professionals is the banking and the landlords. So from a landlord's perspective, my line official within the department would join me up with the people from COGTA, the Ministry of COGTA, and the Ministry of Human Settlements that are the custodians of the Rental Housing Act. And then when it comes to banking, we can speak directly with the Banking Association of South Africa, but as well as Treasury and the DG and the DDGs and officials from Treasury. So the link is already there that the Minister has put together. So much so, the Minister has been so much on the task team's back to make sure things are happening at a rapid pace. Not that, oh, let's see next week and let's have a meeting.
Okay.
We have been given action plans and timelines and datelines to make sure that we can come up with answers for us, for our sector sooner rather than later.
Thank you very much, and hope to catch up with you in the midst of that project to get feedback from you. Sharif Baker is member of the Ministerial Advisory Team for the Creative and Cultural sector.